Good morning, children. So, what did we study in the last class? Yes, we were studying about length and angle section of the circle measures chapter. Okay. So, we studied in the last class how to convert a degree. If we are given a measure degree, we know how to convert it into fractions, right? And another important fact that we studied is the length of an arc of a circle is that fraction of the perimeter as a fraction of 360 degree that its central angle is. This is another big concept that we studied in the last class. Okay. So now I shall give an activity. Just try to do it. This activity is based on the what we studied in the last class. Okay. Here it is given that the radius of the circle is 1 centimeter. So, what will the perimeter of the circle be? Perimeter of the circle is given by the formula what? Yes, it is given by the formula 2 pi r. We know that the radius over here is what? 1 centimeter, right? So, what will the perimeter that we having? 2 pi into 1, that is 2 pi centimeter is the perimeter of this circle. Okay, now I shall give you another information, that is we have the central angle. What is the central angle? First of all, tell me what is the central angle, and tell me what an arc is. What is an arc? Yes, an arc is a part of the circle, right? If this is a circle and this is the center part of the circle, we have named it as O. Now, if a point is traveling from A to P, okay, this part, this is called an arc. It is a part of a circle, right? Now, what is a central angle? What do you mean by central angle? Yes, central angle is the angle that is formed by two radii joining the center of the circle to the end points of the arc. So what is central angle? Central angle is the angle that is formed by the two radii with the center of the circle and the end points of the arc. So that is what an arc is and a central angle. Okay. Now here you are given different degrees of the central angle. Okay. Okay. So here you have given the central angle fraction, that is a part of circle. You have to convert, you have to tell it in the form of fractions and the distance traveled by it. Now the different degrees you have given is 45 degrees, 90 degrees and 120 degrees. Okay, you will have to convert it into fractions, right? And also to find how much part of the circle has traveled. Okay, so just try to do it. Okay, how will you convert 45 degrees into fractions? Yes, we have to do what? How much is it? It's 1 by 8. Now, what is the perimeter of the circle? It's 2 pi, right? So, what part of the circle would have traveled? It have traveled 1 by 8 part of the circle, right? So, in terms of distance, that is either in the unit of centimeter meter, we can write it as 2 pi multiplied by 1 by 8 pi by 4 centimeter. Okay, now 90 degrees. What about 90 degrees? How will you convert? As 90 degree by 360, 1 by 4, 2 pi multiplied by 1 by 4. What is it? 5 by 2 centimeters. Now what was the other degree I have given? 120 degrees. How will you convert? 120 degree by 360 degree. 1 by 3. 2 pi multiplied by 1 by 3. How much you get? 2 pi by 3 centimeters. Okay? Hope you will be able to do this because you did study this in the previous class. Okay? In this case, what was the radius of the circle? It was 1 centimeter. Okay? Now, let us see what happens if the radius of the circle is 1.5 centimeter. Okay? So now we are going to take what? The radius of the circle as 1.5 centimeter. This can be written as what? 3 by 2 centimeter. Right? You know how to do it, right? How is it? Two multiplied by 1, it's 2 plus 1, 3. So 3 by 2 centimeter, right? This is how you do it. Now, what is the perimeter of the circle will be? Yes, the perimeter of the circle is given by the formula what? 2 pi r. Now, what is the radius over here? It is 3 by 2. So, what will the perimeter of the circle be now? Will be 3 pi. Right? Before it was what? Here it was 1 centimeter and here it was 2 pi centimeter. Okay? This is the cases when it was 1 centimeter. Okay? Now, we shall see what all will changes, whether the part of the circle is in, when degrees converted into fractions, whether it will change, and whether the distance traveled by the point also changes. Okay? Here what is happening? Here we have a small circle and another big circle around it. Okay? First case we did the case of a small circle. Its radius was 1 centimeter. Okay? Now we are considering this big circle and its radius is 1.5 centimeter. Okay, so it is named as A, B, C, D. Okay, OA and OB is of 1 centimeter, and OC and OD it is of 1.5 centimeter. Okay, now we shall see what all will change in this figure. Okay, so we have kept the we have taken the same central angles. Okay, let us first consider the central angle 45 degree. Now when it is converted into fraction, is the radius affecting the fraction part when the degree is converted into fractions? No, right? Because we are just taking what just the 360 degree, right? Because here see 45 by 360. This is how we convert degrees into fraction. Here we are not considering the radius part. So it is not affecting when we convert degrees into fraction whether the radius is changing or not. What will be it? What is it? 1 by 8. Okay. Now what happens if the angle is 90 degree? Will it change? No, right? Because we just did see, right? It's not changing because the radius is not affecting. Same in the case of 120 also. Will the radius affect? No, right? There will be no changes. So even whether the radius changes or not, if you are given center angles and when you convert it into the parts of a circle in terms of fractions, there will be no change. Now let us see whether there will be any change in the case of distance travel. Okay, how will you convert? Yes, you have given the part of the circles in the fraction terms. Now what you have to do, you have to multiply the perimeter of the circle with these fractions in order to get the distance traveled. So what is the perimeter circle? 2 pi multiplied by 1 by 8. What is it? 1 by 4 pi. Okay. Oh no, sorry. It's not 1 by 4. This is the previous perimeter, right? Here we are taking 3 pi. 3 pi multiplied. Okay. Similarly, we can see that when we take these fractions also, we will get the distance traveled as 3 pi by 4. And in before case, we have got it as 1 by 2 pi. When considering this 120 degrees, we have got in the fraction term as 1 by 3. And when we have seen the distance traveled by the point, in such a case, we have got it as 5 centimeter. And when we took it, the perimeter of circle as 2 pi, we have got it as 2 pi by 3 centimeter. That is, when the radius changes, it doesn't affect the central angle, not the fraction part. When it, that is, when the degree is converted to fractions, it doesn't affect, but it affects what? The distance traveled by the circle. Okay. See, here this is 1 centimeter. This whole part is what? 1.5 centimeter. Here also this is 1 centimeter and this is 1.5 centimeter. When the radius is taken as 1 centimeter, the angle between this AOB, what is it? It is 45. Now, when the radius was increased to 1.5 centimeter, what is the angle between COD? What is the angle? It will be the same, right? It remained as 45 degree. That is, even the radius changes, the central angle it's not going to affect the central angle. The central angle remains the same. Okay. Now look here. Here you can see three figures. In these three figures, you can see that as the arc length is increasing, what is happening to the central angle? It is also increasing, right? Here it is 45 degree. Here the arc length has increased to 96, and here it is like 120 degree. Okay, so in these cases the arc length is the central angle is keeping on increasing. The arc length here. It's also keeping on increasing, right? So we can say that as the arc length increases, the central angle also increases. So here we can see that in a circle of radius r, okay, then this radius b r, the length of an arc of central angle x degree is, we shall take the central angle as x degree, okay, as given by 2 pi r into x degree by 360 degree. How will get it? Here we can say the length of the arc is given by this formula by the concept that here what is the perimeter of a circle is given 2 pi r, right? This arc is a part of this circle, right? So what is this part? How will you find it? Yes, here the circle, here is the perimeter of a circle. Now the total angle around the center of such a circle is what? 360 degree, right? Now consider this arc, okay? What is the, we don't know this length, right? We don't know its length, right? So instead here we cannot write anything. Let us write it as length of the arc. We don't know. We have to given it as length of the arc itself. Now, what is the degree over here? We know it as x degree, right? Now, how will you find this length of the arc from here? Yes, length of the arc is equal to 2 pi r into x, right? Here length of the arc, we cross multiply here by 360, right? So what is the length of the arc? Length of the arc is equal to 2 pi r into x by 360 degree, okay? Now we have a question. Here we are given that central angle is 40 degree. Length of the arc is 3 pi centimeter. What do you have to find? We have to find the perimeter of the circle. Okay? We shall see how we can do this problem. Okay? So here we have a circle. Here the central angle is given as 40 degree. Right? And the length of this arc is 3 pi. We have to find what? We have to find the perimeter of the circle. What is the perimeter of the circle? Perimeter of the circle is 2 pi r. Right? Now, we know another factor. Length of the arc. What is it? Length of the arc is given by the formula 2 pi r multiplied by central angle by 360. Here we don't know 2 pi r as perimeter, but we know what is it? Length of the arc. What is the length of the arc? It is given as 3 pi centimeter. 3 pi multiplied by x degree. What is it? X degree central angle. What is the central angle? Given as 40 degree. Sorry. Here shall write it over here. 40 degree. Okay. 40 degree by 360. How much? 9. So what do you have to find? You have to find here 2 pi r. So we shall take this 9 to this side, right? 27 pi equal to 2 pi r. What is this 2 pi r? Perimeter. What we are needed to find? We need to find perimeter only. So here we got it as what? 27 pi. Okay? Okay, so hope you understood today's class. Just see the problems that are given in the textbook whether you are able to do it or not. If if any doubt is there, you can just clarify with me in the next class. So thank you and see you in the next class.